This is what we call under-teach over drill. To under-teach means we're not trying to teach everything. So to under-teach is actually a smart thing. I remember years ago, 10 years ago, Nate Carr, he was a third in the Olympics. His son wrestles at Iowa State now. He had somehow gotten a hold of our video series that used to be on DVD, and now it's streamable. And he said, that makes a lot of sense, Nick. I go, yeah, because you're used to dealing with world-class wrestlers at the Olympic Training Center and stuff, and even the college guys when you spent a number of years as a famous Division I wrestling coach, but now as a high school / middle school / youth coach, you're kind of down in the gutter a little bit. So there are positions they don't find themselves in very often, right? And there are positions that they do, but spending time practicing a counter to a counter to a counter to a Russian 2-on-1 would be silly until they know how to hit an underhook throw by, which we think is one of the top 5 takedowns in wrestling. So maybe all of wrestling, but especially high school wrestling, right? You should spend your time on an underhook throw by. They can't practice 5 hours a day, 6 days a week, right? Most of your kids are not going to wrestle year round. So you cannot, with those athletes, teach them every single move in the sport of wrestling. And let's be honest, how many times they're going to be put in a Russian 2-on-1 anyway? Never. If they are, it's not going to be right? And maybe you have an athlete who has an opponent who does a nice job of controlling a Russian 2-on-1 tie-up. You can pull him, her aside and say, here's the 2 best ways to finish or to counter from here. Hit 20 of these a day for the next 5 days. You'll be ready for the Saturday match. There you go. But to take all 58 kids on your team and say, we're all going to learn how to do a rush on 2-on-1, then we're going to learn how to counter to the counter to the counter. Holy cow, you didn't even hit any down blocks that day. Single leg to a quick change off. One of our core techniques of wrestling, right? Down block, go behind. Best takedown of wrestling needs to be drilled. So you're taking valuable drill time away from these, what we call the foundation, the best few techniques from the very common positions. So what we like to do is spend only time on our foundation. We're not going to spend time in these other areas. And let's pretend your kid gets hit with one kind of trick move every 50 matches. Who cares? He'll probably still win anyway as long as his foundation is strong, right? So now obviously if you have kids who are ranked top 10 in the nation in high school and they're hitting the big tournaments, they've already drilled the foundation. They're wrestling year round, right? Some of our top high school athletes, they've been wrestling year round. They've drilled the foundation in my room for 3 to 8 years. They can take a practice off and not hit an underhook throw by for a few practices. So then we can move their drill plan along and say, okay, now here's the 2 best counters to a Russian 2-on-1. Here's some tricks for getting into it, getting out of it. Here's a counter to a counter to a counter. You do this, he does that, you do that. You can do these 2 options. Now you can kind of get down in the weeds. Most of you aren't going to be in a Russian 2-on-1 very often, but let's pretend there's enough of a chance that it's worth the drill time. We're not going to drill that every single day, right? But they don't need, those kids can learn so fast. They don't need to drill something every day, right? It's kind of like your youth kids. You're trying to teach a 5-year-old how to counter a half Nelson. Your 9-year-old who's wrestled for 4 years, he doesn't need to practice it anymore. Maybe never, ever, ever. And you know what? If so, a couple times a year, hey, quick brush up here. So there are techniques that don't need to be drilled every practice, right? Then there's techniques that do. Then there's athletes who have drilled the main 75 to 90 techniques in wrestling over and over and over, twice a week, 3 times a week, and sometimes most of them year round. They can venture off a little bit. Then they can say, hey, let's learn to wrestle from a key lock position. Partner use sprawl, partner hits a snake and spin. We got our key lock. Here's pitfalls, things to watch out for. Here's positions that you can look for. Here's 2 great ways to score. So you're leaving the under teach over drill method a little bit because you have kids who are juniors in high school and they've been top 3 in the state twice, and they're going 5-2 at Virginia Beach, or they're going out there and they're getting 3rd, or they're winning, Super 32s or something, or they're going to Fargo and they're placing. Now, these guys are elite, right? These girls are elite. We just had Faith just made the girls Pan Am team. She could take a couple of days off and not have to drill underhook throw-bys or the core foundation, right? And hit some of these other techniques. But 90% of my athletes, and probably 100% of yours, because most of you are not in an academy setting where you do have, the most serious kids driving in from, we have them driving 7 hours round trip for our practice. Tonight we'll have them driving in 4.5 hours round trip. You don't have that, right? So you, even more so than me, have to make sure you stick to the foundation. But I will say that probably 75% of my kids are just like your kids. They're high school sophomore, didn't start wrestling to the 8th grade, didn't get real serious about wrestling until sophomore year. Or they're 10 years old, they've got 2 years of youth wrestling, they practice an hour and a half a week, twice a week. 15 minutes of that practice was games, 30 minutes was running, so they only really wrestle 40 minutes of practice. They wrestle 9 weeks a year, and then they play baseball. So these kids who are 3rd year wrestlers, they really only have 2 seasons under their belt, and they really only had a couple of practice. Minutes wise, they only have 9 hours of drill time under their belt, even though they're technically a 3rd year wrestler. They haven't wrestled a year. They have 3 tiny little seasons with very little drill time. I have tons of those guys, right? So I have to really be strict about under teach over drill like you do. But I also can have the under teach over drill room, which is our academy. I have our under teach over drill, but it's a 3-page plan, which is our academy elite. Our regular academy has a 1-page plan. And then we have our super advanced room, which is our world-class wrestler program. Their drill plan now is up to 5 pages. But they don't have to drill things over and over. We do the pecking through method, right? Of the touching through. So instead of drilling an underhook throw by, let's say, 2 3-minute goes, so 6 minutes each, I'll say, okay, let's go 1 and 1. You go, partner goes, underhook throw by, go. We'll do it for 40 seconds time. Football grip, snap down, go behind, 40 seconds, go. And I can just sit against the wall and call out drills, and they can drill it. But it's a different level, right? But most of you are just strictly under teach over drill, and there's some insight that should certainly help you. Good luck to your teams.